Good morning and welcome to day 66 on the Appalachian Trail. I've gotten dropped off here at Peter Mountain Trailhead for a 20-mile slack pack back to Parisburg. Starting off this morning, it's a little bit misty, hazy, humid. There's some storm clouds up on the mountain right now. Those are supposed to go away in about an hour or so. Hopefully my timing works out. I think it's about a 2-mile hike with almost 2,000 feet of gain for me to get up there. It is currently just after 8 o'clock, so I'm getting a pretty decent start this morning. My goal is to be back to Parisburg by 6, so I don't want to rush it for sure, but we'll see if we can make it happen. Just made a little pit stop at the shelter that was not even a mile in, and there's a whole crew of through hikers there. So I stopped and chatted a little bit with them. They were telling me this section coming up have a little bit of a climb, which I knew that, and they were saying it's really overgrown, which is good to know going into it. But basically they were like, be prepared just because it stormed last night. Be prepared to get wet, face, legs, all of that, because that's how overgrown it is. They also told me to watch out for stinging nettle, and there's some of that along the trail, so that's also good to keep in the back of my mind. I don't know if this is true or not, but when it's overgrown, I especially have to be careful about doing a tick check. But the grass is wet. I don't know. You guys tell me, do ticks like wet grass? I feel like they don't. Something kind of weird is going on with the top. My left leg for sure. Also the right leg a little bit. I don't know if that's a heat rash or what. I am enjoying all the switchbacks. I don't want to say that I'm struggling today because that wouldn't be the right word. I think I have low energy today. It's probably more accurate. I'm in the middle of my period, and to be honest, the middle to right after it ends, I deal with just having low energy. And a lot of times at home, I will use those days to take it easy. I might cancel a lift or a run if I had it scheduled for that day. And honestly, I debated not slack packing today, but I think slack packing is the best thing that I could have done, honestly, for my body. Get up and get moving and not have as heavy of a pack. But a bit of me is considering my last couple periods I've had on trail. I've felt lower energy than usual, and if this makes you uncomfortable, go ahead and skip a minute if you don't want to listen to this. But I do want to talk about it just for a second. I don't share too many health things on this channel, but I am borderline anemic, and I take an iron pill every day. And part of me is a little bit concerned that maybe with my diet out here on trail, my iron levels have maybe dipped even more. So I'm considering getting a blood test done to check my iron levels. Maybe I'll look into that when I get to Daleville. I should have done that when I was home in Georgia for the day, but that just felt kind of rushed. But I think I'm going to just keep that in the back of my mind, especially over the next week or so. Also, you might notice I've only got one trekking pole today, and that's because my other one is jammed. We've had a couple people at the hostel try to fix it, and nobody can get it unjammed. I collapsed it halfway, thinking that that would be fine, and it was very loose. But I think somewhere in transport, it got hit or twisted or something. And one of the guys at the hospital said that he had a pair of these, and because of like grit and stuff getting up in them, his got jammed as well. He used Vaseline on it, and that helped. But I'm fearing it might be time for a new pair of trekking poles. And I don't want to let these go. These are the ones I got in the Dolomites, and I love them so much. But I need a working, functional, reliable pair of trekking poles. I will say, these have gotten me probably about 1,500 miles, maybe closer to 2,000, between all the hikes I did last year out west, all the trail runs I did over the winter, the miles I've done on the trail so far. So they've lasted a good amount of time. I feel like they should last a little longer, but if it's time to say goodbye, then I gotta do what I gotta do. Getting up here in the clouds. As far as the trekking poles go, I can't say goodbye until at least Daleville, because that's the next place on trail I will come to an outdoor store without having to shuttle somewhere. I think that's either 70 or 90 miles. Should be able to make it on one trekking pole until then. Look at these spider webs. That's cool. I did not know I'd be passing this today. Allegheny Trail. 17 miles. Woohoo! Kind of looking creepy. Oh yeah. We are definitely overgrown. I'm not feeling really hungry this morning, but 4 miles in means snack time. Yep, this is the trail. Love it. Moving on along. Is struggling to focus, but these are so pretty. These are the first berries I've seen. That's exciting. Another snake. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there it goes. That is one thing that's a little sketchy with how overgrown and rocky some of these areas are. You can't really see snakes, so hopefully they slither on out of the way. Good news though, the sun's coming out and I see very small patches of blue above me. So burning off all that fog, getting rid of the creepy vibes. I mean, it has been nice because it's been cool this morning, but I would like the last half to be nice weather and dry out some of this stuff for tomorrow. My trekking pole is useful for getting some of this stuff out of the way. My legs are getting beaten up enough as is, but sometimes though I will push something back, but it's not quite enough and it'll bounce back and smack me in the face. Oh, that was a bear over there. It ran away very quickly. Like, saw each other and it immediately sprinted away. Oh, I got a jolt of adrenaline just then. Took my mind off my itchy legs, that's for sure. I was just curious how much it shot my heart rate up. Well, usually it's like in the 80s when I'm hiking on terrain like this. While I've got a moment where I'm not bushwhacking through the AT, let me talk about the stick stashers that I picked up at Trail Days in Damascus. I know it's been a while and I have forgotten to give a little review, but after I went back for the UK, I tried them out and I realized I just completely forgot to even say this. They will be amazing for day hikes and for even like shorter backpacking trips. If I reorganized the way that I did things, they would work. But for me, I don't know. I just don't want to reorganize the way I do things. You can't see it right now because I'm slack packing. But if you go to another video, you'll see that I usually keep my tent poles on one side of... God. Bushwhacking is resuming. I gotta talk quick. I usually keep my tent poles on one side of my backpack. And basically the little clamp interferes, the tent poles interfere with the clamp. And so it makes it very difficult to try to get them locked in. Could I probably figure something out? Yes. Do I have the mental power and strength to do that? No. So I'm going to forego them. They worked okay on the side with my water bottle, but it feels like it's going to be a little bit more work than it's worth. Again, amazing invention. Will work great if you do not carry your tent poles on the side. So it's definitely something to consider, and it's something that I hope to do maybe a video of. Ooh, oh gosh, this is tick heaven. Maybe I'll do a video of it later on. What the actual heck? Oh my gosh! I am just so glad I'm going to be able to shower after this. This is insane. It's like up to my waist. Pause for a moment of zen in the middle of this ridiculousness. Okay. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Oh gosh. There's a hole there. Can you see the AT sign? The little white blaze is hiding. Beautiful. This is exhausting. This has literally been going for almost a mile. When it's not super overgrown, the trail today is actually quite nice. Time for some Oreos. I had planned to stop here for a snack break, but I think it's going to be a little bit too warm. About a little over 12 miles in for the day. So I think I'm going to dip over here into the woods, maybe go to the shelter. I think it's only half a mile away. And then drink some water and eat a snack and then do the last 5 or 6 miles down into Parisburg. I think I have one more 200-foot climb, but it's pretty much all flat and downhill from here. What y'all doing over there? Best of both worlds. Shade and a little bit of a view. Oh no, my poor legs. I look like I've been bushwhacking. I regret not wearing pants today. Looks like someone's been through here fairly recently to clear out the trail here. And whoever that is, I am incredibly grateful for. Shout out to the cell phone tower. I think I can just step over this fence. I know milkweed is pretty standard, but I don't know, I just think it's so unique. I just passed the shelter and I am starting my descent into Parisburg. I couldn't show you the shelter, one, because I didn't go over to it, but also two, I was FaceTiming my sister up there. I had really good cell service and there were some vultures circling around. So I FaceTimed her to show her the vultures and the view, but mostly the vultures. It's nice when I'm slackpacking. I don't have to worry about my phone battery at all. Obviously with my Anchor charger, I know that I get a certain number of charges and I have to space that out between all my electronics. But knowing I'm going back to the hostel and I can plug it into the wall at the end of the day, I can drain my battery all I want on like a 5-minute FaceTime call. These water sources are loving all the rain we've been getting. This might sound strange, but the descent heading into Parisburg from the north is reminding me a bit of the descent down to Irwin, like down to Uncle Johnny's. I'm really not sure why. Maybe it's similar terrain, or my brain is drawing a connection for some reason. Well, this is weird. I checked far out because, I mean, yes, there are white places, but this is the weirdest part of the trail I think I've been on. I actually walked over there first, so I thought maybe we were crossing the bridge on the highway. I guess we're going under it. Okay, I do cross it. I just had to get to the other side. That was slightly confusing. Some kind of plant. Time to cross the new river. A lot of traffic on this highway. I'm glad they built a barrier. Don't mind if I do. Oh, that's nice. All right. We got point one until we get back to the trailhead. Then I'll call my shuttle and go take a shower. Because as much as I love Dairy Queen, I am not going to walk the road back to it. I am going to call the shuttle for the 5 or 10 minute drive back over and then shower. And then I'm going to figure out what I want to do for dinner. There's a Mexican restaurant that's walking distance. I gotta decide if I want that or maybe I want Dairy Queen again. I always want ice cream though. We're back. I think I've settled on Dairy Queen because I really want ice cream tonight, even though Mexican sounds good. But first I'm going to go shower and then we'll head up that way.
Excited. Oh boy, you're doing a lot then.
I know. Well, I finished today at 19.8 Appalachian Trail miles, and tomorrow morning I will head back over to Peter Mountain Trailhead and keep heading north from there. I think I'm going to do just like 12 miles tomorrow, but we'll see how I'm feeling when I get to the shelter that is there. Sunshine and I just got back from dinner. We went over to Dairy Queen and ate so much food, and most importantly, ice cream. Of course, I got an Oreo Blizzard, and now I have a couple things I need to do, like getting my pack ready and editing a few videos before I head to bed. But I will see you all in the morning for another great day of hiking.